good?
Yes, sir.
Alright. It's my coolant reservoir. It has a sight glass so I can check for adequate levels. If it did not have a sight glass, I would open the top, stick in a foreign object to check for adequate fluid level. This is my alternator. Properly mounted and secured. No missing nuts or bolts. Belt driven. Belt is not frayed, worn, or torn. And no more than 3/4 inch play from the center of the belt. My water pump is down there. Water pump is also belt driven. Belt is not worn or torn. No more than 3/4 inch play from the middle of the belt. It is also mounted and secured properly. No missing nuts or bolts. My coolant reservoir again, you can see through and see that it's filled properly. It's my power steering fluid, see through and see that it's also filled properly. It's my oil dipstick. If I wanted to check the oil, remove the dipstick, wipe it clean, stick it back in, remove it and check for adequate levels again. This is a transmission dipstick. I can't check for adequate levels because the truck is off. Back here is my air compressor and my power steering pump. Properly mounted and secured. It's gear driven. All my hoses not cracked, not leaking, not torn. This is my frame. Properly mounted and secured. No nuts or bolts missing, not dented, and no welds. This is my steering box. This is my steering box, properly mounted and secured. No missing nuts or bolts.
Steering box and hoses.
Steering box and hoses. Hoses aren't torn, aren't cut, aren't leaking. This is my steering linkage. Properly mounted and secured. No missing nuts or bolts, and the cotter pin is present. These are my leaf springs. Leaf springs aren't dented, aren't cracked. They're even. Properly mounted and secured. This is my mount. Properly mounted and secured. No nuts or bolts missing. My U-bolts holding the leaf springs. Not loose, not cracked. Properly mounted and secured. Steering linkage. This is my brake chamber.
So now we're going to the braking system. Go ahead.
This is my brake chamber. Properly mounted and secured. Not cracked, not broken, not leaking. These are my brake hoses. Properly clamped, not leaking, not cracked, not broken. These are my slack adjusters and push rods. They're automatic. If it was not automatic, I would release the brake, pull it with a gloved hand, and make sure it didn't move more than 1 inch. This is my brake lining. My brake lining is visible and is not worn dangerously thin. My brake drum also has a visible amount and not broken or worn dangerously thin. This here is my shock absorber. Shock absorber is not dented, not broken, secure properly, no missing nuts or bolts, and not leaking. That's it. So now we come to the tire. The depth, 430 seconds. It can't be recapped or regrooved. The sidewall condition is fine, worn evenly. No cracks, no cuts, no bulges. My rim isn't cracked or dented. No illegal welds. My lug nuts are all present. No signs of rust trails or shiny threads to indicate looseness. This is my hub oil seal, not cracked, not leaking. This is my tire pressure valve is capped. Valve stem is capped. If I had a tire pressure gauge, I would check to make sure for adequate pressure levels. My 5 clearance lights up top, amber in color. My windshield is properly mounted and secured. No illegal stickers, not dirty. My 2 side view mirrors. securely mounted, securely and properly mounted. No illegal stickers, no obstructions. Then I have 2 turn signals and 4-way flashers that are amber in color. And you come down, I have my high beams, my low beams, my high beams, my low beams, left and right turn signal, clear in color. My bumper properly mounted and secured, no illegal welds, no dents, no cracks, and no fluid leaking under the truck. Steps are properly mounted and secured. My fuel tank is capped, properly mounted and secured.
What about leaking?
Not leaking, no leakage. My door hinges work fine, opens and closes. My window rolls up and rolls down. And it's properly mounted and secured. Next set of steps, properly mounted and secured.
Your reflective tape.
My reflective tape, properly mounted and secure, not cut, not covered. My storage cabinets, all locked, properly mounted and secure. My catwalk is clean, free of any debris or obstructions. I also have more reflective tape up here, free of any obstructions, not cut. My rear tire, I'll check
Let's start from the top. What's that up top?
Oh, this is my splash guard, properly mounted and secured.
Splash guard and what else?
This is my mud flap, properly mounted and secured. All right, my back tires. There's 4 tires. They're dual tires, separated by bud rims. The minimum tread depth is 30 seconds. They can be recapped and regrooved. My sidewall, no bulges, no cuts, not cracked, not broken. My rim, properly mounted and secured, no illegal welds, not dented. My lug nuts show no rust trails, no signs of shiny threads indicating looseness. The braking and suspension system.
Let's talk about that axle seal.
Oh, yeah. My hub axle seal, not broken. All lug nuts are present, not cracked, not leaking.
What about inflation?
And my valve, my valve stem is capped. If I had a tire pressure gauge, I would check for proper inflation. The suspension system and the braking system is the same as the front, and I would check it the same as I checked the front earlier.
All right, so name the suspension and the brakes. Name it.
I got my leaf springs, my U-bolts, my shock absorber, and my mount.
All right, so that's suspension on and the brakes.
I got my brake chamber, my brake hoses, my my slack adjusters and push rods. Then I got my drum and my lining.
All right, you would check them the same way you check the front.
Check them the same way I check the front. This is my landing, properly mounted and secured, free of any debris. Back here, I have a light bar, amber in color. I have.
What are they? What is it?
They're my brakes and
so turn signals are 4 ways.
turn signals in 4 ways. Okay.
All right, so now, go ahead.
Yeah. Then I have my brake lights here.
That's not a brake light, that's a reflector.
That ain't.
That's a reflector light.
Oh, so it's down here.
Brake
Down.
lights down
Yeah.
the
Down
So how many brake lights or park lights?
here. I got 1 bar, and then the.
You got 1, 2, and then the 3.
Wait, where's 1, 2? Oh, these up here.
No, this.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a brake light and park light. So you got 5 brake
5
light
brake
and
lights
park
and park
lights,
lights.
red in color.
Red in color. All right, and 2 clear reverse and
Reverse lights. That's
just
all they are.
okay, just reverse.
All right. So I'm about to step.
All right, my ladders mounted properly and secured properly.
All right. So I'm at the bumper.
Yep. My bumper is secured and mounted properly.
Reflective tape.
Reflective tape secured and mounted properly. Not cut. No obstructions.
All right. So now let's go into your securements.
Now I have my 2 securements. These shackles securely mounted properly.
All right. Your electrical connection.
Electrical connection mounted and secured properly. Not cut.
Your pintle hook.
And I have
And
my
mount.
my pintle hook and mount is also mounted and secured properly.
Missing nuts or bolts.
No missing nuts or bolts.
Alright. So now that's everything on the back of the truck. So
Yeah.
now we gotta go to the securements on the trailer.
Okay, check. My tongue is secure. No missing nuts or bolts. Not dented, not cracked.
Go to your securements, the chain.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then I have my chains are fine, not welded, not cracked or broken.
Electrical line on the trailer.
Electrical line not cut, no splices.
Alright.
Then
So let's go to the landing gear.
okay. What do I call it
Landing
again? Then my landing gear is fine, no nuts or bolts missing.
Alright,
Properly mounted and secured.
Stowed correctly.
Stowed correctly.
Alright, your storage compartment.
Storage compartment properly mounted and secured. No debris, no obstructions.
Alright. Your reflective tape.
Reflective tape is secured and mounted properly. Not cut, no obstructions.
Alright. So let's go to the tires. Which axle are you doing?
I'll do the front. All right, front minimum tread depth of 2/32 can be recapped and regrooved. Sidewall, no cuts, no bulges, no bubbles. My rim properly mounted and secured, no denting, no illegal welds. All my lug nuts are present. No rust trails, no shiny threads indicating looseness. My valve stem is capped. If I had a tire pressure gauge, I would put it on there and check for adequate pressure. And then I got my axle, my hub axle seal, not cracked, not leaking.
Alright. Brakes and suspension.
Brakes and suspension, I would check just like I did the front tires.
Alright. So remember, now we're on the back of the trailer.
Yeah.
Alright, don't forget your mud flap on the
Yeah.
trailer.
Oh yeah. My mud flap is properly mounted and secured. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 red brake and
So they
brake.
brake light, park lights, four-way hazards, and turn signals
okay, yeah.
on the trailer.
Gotcha.
Alright, don't forget your reflective tape.
And reflective tape properly mounted and secured, no obstruction.
Alright. So, examiner, I will examine my right side the same as my left side with the exception
And
of,
my exhaust,
alright, your exhaust, and what else did you forget to talk about over there?
the drive shaft.
Your drive shaft. Alright? The drive shaft is,
Through here.
you can see it through there. So you can talk about your drive shaft. Go ahead.
Right.
Properly mounted, secure, no missing nuts or bolts, no trash or debris in between it.
Okay.
Alright? The exhaust. Alright? Your exhaust.
Yep.
Alright, no missing nuts or bolts, no signs of any carbon soot.
Right.
Alright, or any leakage. Alright? So
Okay.
let's get inside. You can go in the back.
Okay. I'm gonna turn the truck on and go over all my gauges.
What's that called? Safe start.
Safe start. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a safe start.
Why you keep losing the key? You just drop between the seat?
No, it's right. Alright. Gauges fire up. Go back down. Alright, examiner, I'm turning my lights on. My engine oil temperature rising properly, building properly. My trans temperature building properly, rising properly. Water temperature is rising properly. And my oil PSI is rising properly. I have between 12 and 14 volts on my volt gauge. My air levels are properly rising to between 120 and 140 PSI.
So since you just work your way over.
Okay.
Heater and defroster.
Alright. These are my heater and
Heater
defroster.
and defroster.
Turns on, turns off, works fine.
Alright.
My windshield, not cracked, no illegal stickers, and no obstructions to the windshield.
The mirrors.
My side view mirrors, no cracks, no obstructions, and no illegal stickers, and properly mounted and set.
So clean them up. All right.
Okay, so now I'm gonna.
So now you already worked over here. Let's
Oh.
work back over there. So let's talk about the seatbelt.
Okay, my seatbelt, not frayed or worn or torn, properly mounted and secured.
All right. Let's talk about our emergency equipment.
Okay, I have my three reflective triangles, and I have my fire extinguisher,
Properly rated.
properly rated fire extinguisher.
All right. If your truck ran off fuses, you would carry separate fuses.
Spare fuses.
But it runs off circuit breakers.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
So now let's do our horns.
Okay. This is my standard truck horn. This is my air horn.
All right. Let's
Signals.
Do if you want, or you do your windshield wipers.
Oh yeah. Okay. Windshield wipers working properly.
Windshield wiper fluid.
Fluid also dispenses properly.
All right. So now what you want to go into the signals?
Yeah, I'll go over my signals. All right. Left turn signal, properly working. Right turn signal, properly working. Four-way flashers, working properly.
High beams.
High beams, working properly.
Turn them out. All right. So you want me to do what? Step outside.
Yeah. Now, examiner, step outside. And
All
I'll
right. So
show
I'm
you
gonna step
from here.
outside so you can do your light test.
Okay.
You say that. You say that. So remember, right turn signal, left turn signal, 4 ways. Reverse, take it out of reverse, and do the brake. Release the parking brake, come on and off of the service brake so I can see them flash. Left, right, 4 ways. So now what we're going to do.
Alright, now I'm going to do, I did my signals, you already got out, so now I'm going to do my my air brake test.
All right. So
All right.
first thing first, my air pressure is built.
My air pressure is built between 120 and 140 psi. I'm going to turn the truck off
Give power back to my gauges.
and give power back to my gauges. Oh, there it goes.
All right.
Now the wheels are chalked.
I'm gonna release my parking brake, wait for the initial drop.
I'm going to release my parking brake and wait for the initial drop, then put my foot on the service brake and wait 1 minute and check for no more than 3 psi to drop. All right. Okay, put my foot on the service brake. Now I'll time 1 minute and wait for no more than 3 psi to drop.
All right, so to speed up the process, we're not gonna wait the minute, but
Okay.
on the test you will wait the 1 minute.
Right.
So now what are you gonna do?
Now I'm going to pump the brakes and check that my alarm comes on between 60 and 80 psi and that the spring brakes kick on between 20 and 40 psi. parking brake. Now I'm going to turn the truck on and wait for it to build pressure back up to 120 and 140 and make sure the governor kills the air compressor. While it's doing that, I'm going to go grab my chop. 3 points. I'm gonna give it some gas to help the PSI build faster. PSI properly built up between 120 and 140 and the governor turned the air compressor off. So now I'm going to test my parking brake by releasing it and giving...
No, you're going to leave it apply. You're going to put the vehicle in
Oh, right.
drive.
Yeah, what am I talking about? Releasing it. Yeah. Make sure it's applied. Put it in drive.
Lightly accelerate.
Lightly accelerate.
Alright, so the parking brake held.
Parking brake held.
So now you're going to test your service brake. Keep it in drive. And release the parking brake.
Okay.
Alright, you're going to drive about 5 feet and step on the service brake.
Alright.
Right there. Alright.
Service brake
held. Stop the vehicle without any pull to the left or the right.
Without any pull to the left or the right.
Alright, and that's the end of the test.